everyone, I'm Phil Jubileo for Sound Tigers TV. I hope you're all ready for another exciting season of Sound Tigers hockey because opening weekend is right around the corner. And this season will be filled with all sorts of changes for the club, starting on the bench. With Brent Thompson moving up to the New York Islanders after his successful first season with the organization, the Sound Tigers will be led by former Manchester assistant and longtime NHL player Scott Pellerin. Not long before being named to the job, Pellerin was in L.A., hoisting the Stanley Cup as he watched a number of his former pupils win it all with the Kings. This will be Pellerin's first go-around as a head coach, but he'll have returning assistant Eric Boganicki alongside, as well as new assistant coach Doug Holowa and new goaltending coach Steve Valiquette, a former Sound Tiger himself. Pellerin and his staff will have an interesting mix of players, at least to begin the season, as the current NHL lockout has resulted in a massive shift of young and talented entry-level contract players down to the American Hockey League in the meantime. Leading the way is standout D-man Travis Hamonic, who played a brief time with the Sound Tigers 2 seasons ago before getting a call-up to the Islanders, where he is considered one of the better young shutdown D-men in the league. Aaron Ness, Matt Donovan, and Calvin DeHaan were expected to compete for NHL jobs this season, but instead will make up what should be one of the best defense groups in the league. They'll be joined by returning players Ty Wishart and John Landry, as well as veteran newcomer Nathan McKeever, who was with Providence last season. While a number of familiar faces are returning to Bridgeport's blue line, up front is a completely different story, where a number of rookies will be expected to fill key roles. However, the lockout in the meantime has allowed for some experienced players to return down to Bridgeport. Casey Cizikas enjoyed an outstanding rookie year in the American Hockey League, earning a spot in the All-Star Classic and eventually earning a promotion to the New York Islanders, where he skated in 15 games. David Ahlstrom was also outstanding for Bridgeport with a team-high 24 goals in only 40 games while spending about half of the season with the Islanders. Both players were expected to earn full-time spots with the big club, but for the time being will lead the forward group for Bridgeport. They'll be joined by Nino Niederreiter, who spent nearly his entire rookie season with the Islanders. And while he struggled to put up points as a 19-year-old in the NHL, he shined during a rehab stint with the Sound Tigers, scoring 3 goals in 6 games. He should be able to dominate at the AHL level given his size and ability to put the puck in the net. Sean Backman, Blair Riley, and enforcer Brett Gallant also return up front as well. But the most interesting story for the Sound Tigers this season will be the development of a number of rookies, several of them containing quite a high upside. A few of these players are already known to Sound Tigers fans, beginning with John Pearson, who had 8 points in 12 games at the tail end of last season after finishing his junior career in the Western Hockey League. 2010 first-round pick Brock Nelson also made his AHL debut and appeared in the playoffs for the Sound Tigers. The 6'3" power forward enjoyed an outstanding sophomore season with the University of North Dakota before turning pro, with 28 goals in 42 games. And with Michael Haley moving on to the Rangers organization, Mike Halmo steps in with an opportunity to fill a similar role as someone who can grind, score, and drop the gloves when needed. He had 40 goals as an overage 20-year-old for Owen Sound in the OHL before appearing in 5 games with Bridgeport. And 2 newcomers to keep an eye on this season are Kirill Kabanov and Johan Sundstrom. Kabanov was a 3rd-round pick of the Islanders in 2010 and scored 55 points for Shawinigan in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. He's a player with first-round ability and should be able to make a smooth transition with his playmaking ability. Sundstrom, meanwhile, just turned 20, but already has 2 full seasons under his belt in the Swedish Elite League. He didn't score much last year, but neither did Franz Nielsen or David Ahlstrom when they played in the same league. But if his adjustment to North American hockey is anything like what Franz and David have been able to accomplish, it should be a good season for Sundstrom. One thing to expect again this season will be consistency in goal, where Kevin Poulin and Anders Nilsson once again form one of the best 1-2 punches in the American Hockey League. Both Poulin and Nilsson enjoyed great seasons with the Sound Tigers and each earned some time with the Islanders. The 2 youngsters were expected to battle for the number 2 position on Long Island with Evgeny Nabokov returning, but for now we'll begin with the Sound Tigers, with rookie Kenny Ryder expected to join them for training camp and perhaps a more permanent spot once the lockout is over. Poulin and Nilsson each earned their own AHL Goaltender of the Month awards last season, with Poulin at one point chasing the league record for most shutout minutes after recording 3 straight shutouts at the start of 2012. With the big goaltending pair and outstanding group on the blue line in front of them, Don't expect too many high-scoring affairs from the other side. The 12th season of Sound Tigers hockey begins appropriately enough on October 12th, as the Sound Tigers begin their defense of the Atlantic Division crown in Hartford against the Whale. One night later, the boys will return home to the Webster Bank Arena, where they will take on the Providence Bruins. Tickets are available for opening night here at the Webster Bank Arena. Visit soundtigers.com or pick up your tickets in person at the arena box office. We'll see you on opening night. For Sound Tigers TV, I'm Phil Jubileo.